Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hi, Alison.
Hi. I'm here now. Everything's working.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad to have everybody here. My name is Ruham Manzoor, and I'm the managing partner of MACES. We are an education consultancy in Bangladesh. We work with more than 200 universities across UK, USA, Canada, Japan, Malaysia, Australia. But today we're here with University of Sheffield, and University of Sheffield is one of the top universities in the world and also UK. So we are very happy to have University of Sheffield as our partner, and I'm sure we'll have a great session. So with us, there is Alison Witham and Jessica Bream from the university. We were having IT issues with Alison, so I'm really glad she was just able to be on time. So Alison, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then Jessica can come after.
Fab, thank you. Yes, apologies that everyone had to restart my machine minutes before it went live. My camera wasn't working or audio, so hopefully you can hear and see me okay now. So thank you for having us here today. Yes, I am the regional manager looking after Bangladesh. I work alongside my colleague Jess, who I'm sure will say a few words in a second, based out of our usual Sheffield office, obviously currently work from home, but we're here to answer any questions about studying in the UK, specifically the University of Sheffield, and questions about the city you might have, and anything really, any enquiries you might have, we're more than happy to help you. And I'll let Jess introduce herself as well, and I have got a short presentation to show you as well.
Great. Jessica?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Alison said most things, but my name's Jessica. I'm the International Recruitment Coordinator for South Asia for the University of Sheffield. And yes, happy to help answer any questions you might have.
So, any conversation, I guess, I start with anybody since last year, starts with COVID. So how has that affected you guys? And, how has it affected students? Are students able to do their classes? Like, what's the story there?
Yeah, do you want me to go, Jess, on that one?
Yep.
Great. Sorry, I think maybe my laptop again or internet. Apologies there. I think there may be a short lag. So hopefully I am clear. But yeah, I mean, as most other institutions as well, we are following government guidelines. So at the University of Sheffield, the safety of our students and staff is paramount. We will be following government guidelines, which at the present obviously is to work online up until the 8th of March, when things will reopen, if for education purposes. So a lot of our classes at the moment are currently online. And with the exception of some in the medical school, which are deemed as necessity, but obviously health and safety measures are being carried out where necessary. On campus, we have obviously 2 meter distance. We have stickers to show students where that the 2 meter distance rule. We have hand sanitizer around all of the campus, and obviously all students are given face masks. So we are following and adhering to the guidelines set by the UK government at the moment, and ensuring that we follow those. And obviously, we know the importance of face-to-face teaching, and when that is allowed, and so we will obviously continue with that.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, everybody, I think this year had to make adjustments, and there's been, I think, tectonic shifts in the way things work. We are all sitting in different countries. I'm sitting in Canada. You're sitting in Sheffield. You both are, but in your home instead of in the office, or usually as it happens, this would have been a session that would have happened in our office in Bangladesh. And And the thing is, there are good and bad to that. The bad is, the face-to-face interaction, I think, is very personal. Students get a lot out of it, but at the same time, with online, there are more people who can actually attend and get the benefit out of this information. So, today this video is going, and I'm sure more than 2,000 people will be seeing it over the next 1 or 2 days. So anyway, I wanted to give that introduction, and after that, Alison, what I would really appreciate is if you could show us for ourselves why Sheffield. Why would anybody want to go to the University of Sheffield? You could introduce us to the university and talk a little bit about the fee structure, the entry requirements, and things like that. And of course, I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions after that.
Yes, certainly. So I'm going to share my screen. As mentioned, I did have to restart my computer within a minute before this. So I can see from the screen it's still making the loading sign on my presentation. So I hope that when I share, it is fully up and organized. Just a quick one, Jess, is it open on your screen as well or not?
Do you mean, can I see your presentation?
No, you have the presentation open on yours.
Sorry, the Bangladesh.
Perhaps you can share that.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and share mine, but I think that it's not loaded yet. So I'll try first and then see if Jess is there. So bear with me, guys. I'm just going to share my screen. Show share screen. So hopefully, I'm going to share it here. So the whole thing there. Share. So hopefully you can see my screen, probably see yourselves. So this is the presentation.
Well, not yet.
I'm going to see if I can, if I've come on the screen, see if it's.
Oh, here we go.
I think my
computer
is still loading it up. I think it's we're there. That's it. I thought if I went on the screen, it might help. So let me press present. Yes, can you see something loading, hopefully, everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Slowly but surely by the looks of it. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah. So I think it's nearly there. Otherwise, this is unfortunately I've got poor internet connection at home. It doesn't usually take this long. Let's have a look. Is it loaded on your screen now?
Bangladesh. It still says loading here, but I'm sure. Is it a internet presentation? It's not on your computer.
It's just a PowerPoint, so I am on the internet, but I think it's slowly there. Just a second. If not, I may call on Jess. I know what's in the presentation.
Alison, you're going to have to move to Bangladesh. We have really good internet connection in Bangladesh.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get on a plane and go there now by the looks of this. Jess, is it up and ready on your screen?
I can share my screen if you want me to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Day for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing. Apologies, and I'm going to work from Jess. And
Jess can go through the presentation, and you can do the talking, or whatever works out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Have I stopped sharing? Has it managed to stop?
I'll put Jess's presentation on.
Fab. Fab, thank you. I can see, and like I say, I do know what's in the presentation. So, so I think we're a few slides on, Jess. Is that the first one?
Yeah. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. Can you see that?
I'll start. Oh, it's very slow on my screen. Maybe it's my computer again, but yes, that's good. Thank you. So welcome, everybody. And like I say, we've done our introductions, and Jess and I are now just going to go through a few slides. There are more pictures than text to hopefully give you an insight of the city of Sheffield, and encourage you to think about us in your next application phase. So yeah, next slide, please, Jess. And I think the first slide just talks a bit about the history of the University of Sheffield. So hopefully you have heard of the university before. We are a World Top 100 university on the QS World Rankings, currently ranked 93rd in the world, and we're 16th in the UK, specifically looking at the QS rankings on that one. We are a member of the Russell Group of institutions. Now, why that might be important to you to know is we do emphasise a lot of our curriculum and teaching with regards to specific research areas. So if you are particularly interested in research, then it's always a good choice, obviously, to choose a Russell Group institution. And one of the reasons why it's important, if you are also obviously still considering what country to go to, is what's important about the UK is our professors doing the world leading research in the laboratories. They are also teaching the students. So it's not like the US where they have they do their research and they don't actually do much teaching alongside it. Our professors teach you that research within the curriculum, so you're getting first-hand knowledge on some fantastic new things that are being taught. So that's really important to know. And we are also ranked as one of the top 50 for most international universities. Again, why that's important is we recognise the needs of our international students. We have a lot of support services in place to help international students in their education career. We also welcome many, I think we have over 150 different nationalities on campus. So you're not going to be on your own. We have a number of students from Bangladesh, South Asia in general, but also all around the world. So that's important as well. So yeah, next slide, please, Jess. Thank you. So yeah, this is just to highlight the areas in which you can study. So we have over 800 different courses at the University of Sheffield available to international students. So you would study full-time in one of the courses in the following areas that are on your screen. So we have lots of courses in engineering, so all different departments of engineering, computer science being the most one of the most popular areas, and electronic and electrical engineering for students from Bangladesh. But we cover all aspects of engineering. Our science department is very well renowned as well, with some of our Nobel Prize winners specifically being from the science department. We have 6 Nobel Prize winners in our alumni at Sheffield. We also have a social science department, which we also welcome applications from Bangladesh, specifically in our law school, which is very popular. And we have a business management school under that as well. We have courses in arts and humanities, and not forgetting dentistry and medicine and health sciences. So we do have the undergraduate medicine programme. We would accept IB and A-level students on that only, if you are interested in that. So courses at undergraduate and postgraduate usually range from 16 to 27,000. However, some of the medical courses obviously are a lot higher because of the clinical experience that is in those courses. So please do bear that in mind. But the majority range in that sort of figure. For postgraduate and direct entry from a bachelor programme, we would be looking for a 3.2 CGPA generally. Just to advise there. Yeah, next slide, please, Jess. So obviously employment's a big factor. After you get a great degree from Sheffield, you want to know who you're going to be working for. So hopefully, yeah, they've come on the screen now, great. So some of the top employers around the world and the UK, our graduates have gone on to work for in a number of different industries. We do have a fantastic careers advice centre at the university. We have also specific career advice in different departments, and we also hold at least one at the university, and the city also holds a separate one, a job fair, where employers come and where you can network and meet with employers from all over the UK. Obviously, that was done virtually this year, and we hope that it will be face-to-face next year. So lots of opportunities for you to network with some leading employers as well. We had a fantastic graduate employment rate as well. So the majority of our courses all have over 90% employment rate within 6 months of graduation. That's students that have gone on to either further study or employment. So yeah, next slide, please, Jess. So from memory, whilst it's, oh yeah, scholarships. So scholarships, which I know are always of importance to students. We are very lucky at the University of Sheffield. We do have a fantastic scholarship scheme specifically for students from Bangladesh. This is a very good offering from a Russell Group institution. For undergraduate students, we have 50% undergraduate scholarships, and that is actually available for each year of study, and it obviously halves the tuition fee. And these scholarships are for the top academic achievers, so we are looking at A-level and IB results in order to give those scholarships. For postgraduate students, we have 125% scholarships, again academic merit based, so the higher the CGPA, the better chance of getting those scholarships. And aside from that, we also, separate to those, we have a £2,000 and £2,500 scholarship for specific departments, that if you get an offer from the university and accept your offer by a specific deadline in June, then you are permitted a guaranteed scholarship. There's no application necessary. However, the merit scholarships of 50% and 25% is a application. So you have to hold an offer from the University of Sheffield before you can apply for a scholarship. So please do bear that in mind. Yeah, next slide, please. So yeah, I wanted to sort of tell you a bit more about the City of Sheffield. So obviously your experience at the university, we know, will be hopefully great for you all, but also what differentiates us to other universities you might be looking at is the fantastic City of Sheffield. So that's a picture of the city centre at the moment, which is a great area when the sun does shine, and it does sometimes in Sheffield. It's not all rain, which you may hear on the news in the UK. That's a great place to have in the sunshine, that area on your screen now. So yeah, next slide should also show you a really nice view of the city, so next slide when possible, Jess, thank you. And it does actually state that we're the 4th largest city in the UK. Oh, I've preempted the slide, so this one, sorry, shows you where we are located. So Sheffield on the map there, we are close to Manchester. If you are thinking of the international airport that's closest to us, it is the Manchester International Airport. We're right in the centre of the UK, 2 hours away from London, which I'm sure you've all heard of. So it's a fantastic location right in the heart of the UK. And then the next slide is the one that I thought we were going on, sorry, which shows you the city landscape. And it shows that we are the 4th largest city in the UK. And so the city boundary actually covers part of the Peak District National Park. We are the only city in the UK to have part of the city centre boundary as in the national park. So if you do Google the Peak District after this, you'll see some fantastic pictures of the countryside in the UK. It's a really nice area. And I think that's the benefit, and what's the biggest selling point of the City of Sheffield is you get the best of both worlds. You get the hustle and bustle of the city centre, but you also get the peace, tranquility and sports as well that is associated with being in the outdoors and being in the countryside as well. So the city landscape on your screen now, that's a lovely area where you can see the main city centre. So yeah, next slide please, Jess. And I think from memory, because I think my machine's a bit slow. Yeah, it's come up. This again is the city centre from the similar to the first slide, which I mentioned was a great area to hang out when the sun's shining with the water there. So we are also one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. Sheffield is on average 20% cheaper than living in central London. So your money as a student goes a lot further when you come to Sheffield. On average, students, postgraduate students, have stated that they've spent between £7,000 and £10,000 in the year. That's one whole year. That's accommodation, living costs, social costs, excluding academic fees, which is about 20% cheaper than, like I mentioned, living in the city centre of London. For your visa, you do have to show around £1,040 in your account per month of your study, but depending on your lifestyle choices, that is a lot less when living in Sheffield, because it is more affordable than, like I say, living in London, because we are classified as living up north. So yeah, next slide please, Jess. I think this next slide also just shows a lovely picture of Weston Park. Yep, so this is actually right next to where Jess and I usually spend our time, which is the Arts Tower. So for any budding architects on the chat today, the Arts Tower is where our architecture students study. It is the tallest tallest building in the UK used for education purposes. So it's a fantastic view over the city from the Arts Tower. And it also overlooks this lovely green area of Weston Park, which is this picture here. And that's, as mentioned, that's one of the beauties and specific USPs of studying at Sheffield, is the fact that it's got so much green space for students to go and walk around, clear their mind in the midst of exam times, etc. So that's a good view there of Weston Park. So yeah, next slide please, Jess. So a bit about the graduate immigration route visa, just to make you all aware. Further details are being announced actually this month by the Home Office. What we do know is that international students graduating in the summer of 2021 will be allowed to apply for the graduate immigration route visa, which allows you to stay for a further 2 years after successful completion of your degree. And there is going to be an application fee. There is going to be an application form, but we don't yet know the fee and how difficult the form will be to fill out, but we're sure it will be quite self-explanatory and as easy as these forms can be. You will have to pay the NHS surcharge again, but as mentioned, more details of that are being announced by the UK government this month. But that is in place. After the 2 years, you can still then apply to go on to the skilled worker visa if you wish to stay longer in the UK. And I think it might be the final slide next, Jess, because I think we were just kind of giving you a bit of an overview of Sheffield. So I'm just going to check what the next slide. Yeah, so Jess and I's email contact is on the screen there, and obviously with our website as well. But obviously the agent can help with any questions, I'm sure, and we have a good working relationship with Macy's to be able to answer any queries if you go direct to them as well. But yeah, hopefully that gave you a bit of an overview, and happy to answer any questions. I have seen one specific question that I'm happy to go straight into if you wish me to, about the facilities to undergraduate students. I mean, one thing I didn't mention is we have a fantastic students' union actually at Sheffield. A student union in the UK is possibly different to what it is in Bangladesh, but in the UK, it's a student-run association run by students for students, and it's got, I think we've got over 300 different sports clubs and societies for students to have get involved with. If you're interested in sports, it doesn't have to be sports though. It can be, for example, we have a Harry Potter society, we have a Bangladesh student society, we have different appreciation societies, cupcake making. There's lots that you can get involved with, more on the social side. So that's some of the facilities that are available to all students, not just specifically undergraduate. We have obviously a lot of support available specifically to students. Again, not necessarily just to undergraduate, to all students. We have a finance office to help with any students if they're eligible to any further funding. We have a wellbeing office as well, so that is specifically trained, knowing to look out for those signs that potentially more international students might face, such as homesickness. We take mental health, which is obviously very important, especially in the pandemic, very seriously at Sheffield. So we have dedicated staff specifically there for any mental health concerns that students might have. Obviously, extra support for English. So you can, obviously, some international students might just feel a bit out of depth with the pace and suddenly being in a different culture, everything's in English. We have dedicated support services for those. Facilities also regarding your courses. So, for example, we do get a lot of students inquire about engineering, so I'll use that as an example. But we have lots of fantastic facilities in all our departments. Engineering specifically, we have a £100 million investment called the Diamond, and that is actually more specific to undergraduate students. It has 19 different laboratories, including 3D printing machines. It's got a maker space. It's got everything engineers need: virtual reality suite, computer labs with state-of-the-art machines. But I need to go and get one. I think from the rate of my computer and internet, I think I need to go to our computer science department and get them to help me out. So we have lots of facilities, and like I say, my lack of computer skills is not showing them off to the best ability, but it's much better at Sheffield than at my home. So yeah, some fantastic facilities in all the ranges of our departments. And I think that it's quite nice to be able to talk about Sheffield, because we genuinely don't get hardly many students come to us with that they've not had a good time. So it's very nice to be able to talk about the facilities and things that we have at Sheffield, because a lot of the students that we speak to are just enjoying every minute. And we just sort of want to hope that the students that are out there listening to this, you have the opportunity to do that as well. So
yeah, I've got a few students in Sheffield, and they have had a great experience with the city. They have been able to find jobs if they needed it. They found a very homely atmosphere. People were very receptive to them as international students, which is not always the case in a lot of countries. So that was very, very positive as far as the experience.
Yeah, just to add on. Sorry, I think I've got a delay as well, but sorry, just to interrupt there. I didn't mean to speak over you there, but just to add to your point, Sheffield has actually been renowned for being a very welcoming city generally, so not just the university, but the city generally, the local people. If you do actually look up the Yorkshire people, they're known to be one of the friendliest in the UK. It's a bit of a known fact in the UK that if you're Yorkshire, that you're good. you're a good they say in Yorkshire. But we are renowned to be a very friendly city generally, and welcoming of international people generally, not just students. And the VC, if you've had a look on our website, the VC is very open about welcoming international students and people generally. So yes, I just wanted to add that on.
So I wanted to summarize your presentation from what I could gather. So the first thing is that Sheffield University is one of the prestigious members of the Russell Group of universities. So they're very highly regarded in terms of their research quality, and not only do the professors do excellent research, but they also teach and relay that information to students. And there are 6 Nobel Prize winners amongst the alumni of University of Sheffield. So that's amazing. You've got more than 800 courses available. The tuition fee ranges between £16,000 to £27,000. However, there are guaranteed scholarships I saw on the slide there of £2,000 to £2,500. But on top of that, students can apply for, in the PG area, they have the 125 25% scholarship. So obviously that is a competitive scholarship, and they have to apply once they get an offer for that.
Yeah,
and 50%.
Just to add, just to be clear on that one, sorry, it is going to be one or the other. So if they get the merit scholarship, that's the sole scholarship that a student would receive. But you're correct so far, yeah.
No, that's very important information. So they will be guaranteed either 2,000 or 2,500. But on if they get one of the merit scholarship, then of course that supersedes the other one, which is the lower one. And you've got 50% scholarship for undergraduate. Actually, this is great because you're close. You're about 45 minutes from Manchester, and there is a flight which goes to Manchester directly. It's the Bangladesh Biman flight, which takes you right into Manchester. It's 10 hours you're in. In terms of students, it's not a big travel area, like distance to travel. The cost of living in Sheffield is 20% cheaper than London, which is amazing because, I know that cost is an important factor for Bangladeshi students when they're looking to study. And of course, you also mentioned about the postgraduate work. Students who have graduated or will be graduating after summer of 2021 are eligible to apply for the 2-year post-study work. And of course, there are technicalities involved with that, but that should not be very difficult. Now, Alison, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some of the questions that our students are asking, and then you can answer. You or Jessica can jump in and answer for us. So another question that came up is this is Saqib Raflab. I'm guessing that he's talking about change of studies from undergraduate to postgraduate, but he mentioned, can someone change their field of study and apply to a program that isn't connected to their previous studies? So yeah.
I'll jump in on that one. It depends on what the course is that they're wanting to do. So if they've done an undergraduate degree in one subject and then they realize for their postgraduate they wish to change their field and they want to do a different course, depending on the course, they may be able to do that. But obviously, if the course they're looking at has specific entry requirements that requires previous knowledge and experience in that field, then obviously they may not be able to do that. So it does depend on the course and the entry requirements. But in theory, there are some master's courses that you can do without previous experience.
Like Saqib, I mean, just to answer your question, for example, one such course that comes to mind is if you're an engineer, for example, you're an engineer, you have worked in engineering, but you want to get some business background, or business. So you can do the MSc in management, I suppose. I mean, that is specifically designed for non-business students to come in. So there are different courses like that, which allows you to change your majors, but be aware that there has to be reasoning or motivation for you to do so. And as long as they're not overly technical, you should be fine. For example, if you want to study, if you've studied, let's say, arts and humanities, and you want to study, data analytics, probably that's not going to work out because you're going to need a strong maths or computer science background. But in general, there are we can help you with that. So as at Maces, so we have an office in Dhanmondi and an office in Gulshan. You can write to us. We can actually do a one-on-one interview. We can help you make that application and answer those questions as well, if you are talking about specific courses. Now, if I apply for the September intake, this is again from Saqib. He's obviously listened to your conversation, Alison, so a lot of questions. What are the specific postgraduate scholarships that I might be considered for? I guess you've covered that already, but yeah, I mean, I'll let you just summarize on that.
Yeah, just to
yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I'm going to jump in on that one again. So for postgraduate students at Sheffield, we have the 25% merit scholarship, which is available to 125 international students. So that would be a fee reduction of 25%. So if you apply to the University of Sheffield and you receive an offer to study at the University of Sheffield, you would then be invited to apply for the merit scholarship. So you apply for the course. If you get an offer, then you would apply for the merit scholarship. So there are two separate applications there. And as I mentioned, there are 125 of them. So it is a competitive application process, and they're awarded to the top achieving students, academically speaking, in the shortlisting process. The guidance on that one would be to apply to the University of Sheffield as soon as you can in the next couple of months, because the deadline for the scholarships is, in fact, the 17th of May. And just to be clear, the £2,000 scholarship that we mentioned before, that is actually for undergraduate students. So if you're an undergraduate student thinking of coming to the University of Sheffield, we have a choice between the 50% merit scholarship, which is a fee reduction of 50% off of your tuition fees. And again, we have 50 of those. It's, again, a competitive application process. So you'd apply for the course. If you get an offer, you'd then be invited to apply for the merit scholarship. And if you were not successful with that scholarship as an undergraduate student, you would then be automatically considered for the International Undergraduate Scholarship, which is either £2,000 or £2,500, depending on the course you've applied for. So there are two options for undergraduate students, and there's the merit scholarship of 25% for postgraduate students.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And that should cover many of the other questions that came as well. Then the next question is from Nasreen, who asked, is it mandatory to do a foundation year for undergraduate? Is there any way we could avoid it and our application would be considered for direct entry? Nasreen, I'm not sure if you're from the HSC, SSC curriculum or from the A-level curriculum, but I guess, Jessica, you would be able to answer that.
Yeah, sure. So as mentioned, if you have done HSC school level, you would be required to do a foundation course. And we do have a foundation provider in the city of Sheffield on our campus, the University of Sheffield International College. So if you were desperate to get that first taste of international student experience, but you are concerned about having to spend a year doing a foundation course, don't worry, because you can still do that at the University of Sheffield effectively with our partner college that is based on our campus. And studying there gives you access to the Diamond, to all the facilities that we have at the university. So it would almost be like you've already started your journey at the University of Sheffield. But obviously, if you do IB or A levels, you do not need to do a foundation. As long as you meet the entry requirements, you'd be able to join directly onto year one.
That's amazing. That's great. The next question is from Muhammad Zertaj. In terms of 50% undergraduate scholarship, are students that have SSC, HSC background eligible to apply too? Would they be considered as well? I guess not, because for SSC, HSC background students, you will need to go through the foundation route at the university. But Jessica, this is a question. If they do the foundation and then progress onto the undergraduate program, would they then be considered for those scholarships?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Alison, but yes, I think it's the short answer. I'll wait for her delay.
Yes, yes. So she has both thumbs up for that. So once you've done your foundation and progress, you will be eligible for those scholarships. And yeah, so that's wonderful news. And it's also year on year, right? It's not for 1 year only.
Correct. So as long as you maintain a minimum of a 60% average overall, why 40? Why are you? Is that being dropped? Okay, sorry. Alison, jump in.
For a maximum of 4 years. Sorry, Jess was right. I probably put her off by putting forward. So Jess is absolutely right. Maintaining a 60% average throughout the years of your undergraduate course. Very few of our courses sometimes go on to 5 years. So there's a computer science program that potentially students can do over 5 years. And it was just to highlight that the 50% is only available for a maximum of 4 years as an undergraduate student, just to add that in.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of scholarship questions we're getting. So, another question we have is, do you have any sports scholarship, or let's say if someone is good at ACAs, do these get counted too?
Go on, Alison. You're desperate to say something.
Do you want me to add it? Because I've seen a couple of questions about do we do engineering questions, because we've also got another, we're full of scholarships at Sheffield. We have another scholarship available for high academic achievers. So this would be obviously A-level IB, because it would have to be those grades that we look at. Obviously you'll be doing foundation otherwise. If, for example, you get A stars for engineering, they have a maximum of a £3,000 additional scholarship. So for every A star that a student might get, there is a maximum of a £3,000 cash scholarship available from our engineering department, and up to £2,000 from computer science department. That's an additional scholarship for undergraduate students. Now, we don't offer sports scholarships prior to application. There are some scholarships available through Sport Sheffield, but that's once you get to Sheffield, and that's if you are competing for the university at a specific level. Then there are some scholarships available in application. And they're very few, honestly speaking, but I have been advised there are some scholarships from our Sports Sheffield, but that's once you're at Sheffield, a fully registered student, and they're minimal in comparison to our academic scholarships. So I hope that helped answer that question.
That was great. I think that was wonderful. The other question that came is from Mehez Edward. What is the employment rate in Sheffield? Perhaps you could answer that.
Yeah. So obviously, each department has a different employment rate. The average across all departments is approximately a 92%. But I do know that computer science specifically, I think they quote something like 99% employability rate. But then obviously other departments are lower. So then the overall average is around a 92% employability rate. Now, please bear in mind that rate is determined by asking students within 6 months of leaving the University of Sheffield, have they gone on to find employment, or have they gone on to obviously further study, postgraduate or PhD? And it's not just a UK statistic, it's obviously if they've gone home as well to their home country and found employment. So that's the statistic. It is within 6 months of leaving, and it's obviously all the students that have responded to the survey as well. So just to highlight that we have got a high employment rate, but it is, like I say, it's not a UK specific employment rate. We do have dedicated careers advice centres. Obviously, as a World Top 100 university, employees in the area are aware of the university, they're aware of the standard of teaching. We have links due to our research with some fantastic employers that know the quality of our graduates. Some businesses will only hire Sheffield graduates, so I've spoke to a couple of contacts from architectural department that have said that they have links with certain companies that know how good Sheffield graduates are in architecture and will only come to Sheffield for if they've got job openings and things. So yeah, we help and our students as much as we can regarding work prospects.
That is wonderful, Mane. I'm gonna switch languages every now and then, Alison and Jessica. Please forgive me, just to make things a little bit more how do you say, acceptable globally, or locally. So the thing is, আমি যেটা বলতে যাচ্ছিলাম সেটা হচ্ছে যে যারা এইচএসসি এসএসসি করেছেন তাদের জন্য একটা ফাউন্ডেশন প্রোগ্রাম ওরা অফার করে, সেই ফাউন্ডেশনের প্রোগ্রামের মাধ্যমে আপনি যেতে পারবেন। সো ফাইসাল, আপনি জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলেন I have UKVI IELTS of 5.5. Can I apply for the Bachelor of Computer Science? Now, normally, ব্যাচেলরের জন্য আপনি যদি এসএসসি এইচএসসি স্টুডেন্ট হয়ে থাকেন তাহলে আপনার ফাউন্ডেশন করতেই হবে, এবং ফাউন্ডেশনের ক্ষেত্রে IELTS এর 5.5 হচ্ছে গ্রহণযোগ্য একটা স্কোর। However, if you want to do bachelor's, the requirement is Alison, the UKVI IELTS requirement for bachelor's programs in computer science, I'm guessing is 6 with nothing less than 5.5. Is that true, or is it higher?
Sorry, I was on mute there. Yeah, the average on majority of our courses is a 6.5, but no component under a 6.
For undergraduate?
So that's the requirement. Yeah.
Do you offer pre-sessional courses?
We do. We offer pre-sessional. Sorry, you mentioned undergraduate there. Yes, we do offer pre-sessional. So students can do the pre-sessional English at different start dates depending on what level they're at and what they need to sort of jump up to as well on the IELTS. But yeah, no component under a 6. And depending, obviously, if it's an A-level IB student, we would consider the GCSE equivalent of English and potentially waiver the IELTS. But if it was the HSC, then obviously, yes, we'd need an IELTS, but we offer pre-sessional English. Sorry.
So to answer your question, Faisal, আপনার যেহেতু 5.5 আছে, আপনার তো এমনিও ফাউন্ডেশন হয়তো করতেই হবে, আপনার হয়তো এসএসসি এইচএসসি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থেকে, তো ফাউন্ডেশন করার মাধ্যমে আপনি ওই বাধাটা উপক্রম করতে পারবেন। সো আপনি ফাউন্ডেশন করে যেতে পারবেন আর কি। Now the next question is from Shadab, and he has asked 3 questions. Can a student apply without IELTS? That's number 1. He didn't mention the level, so I guess for undergraduate, if you're from O-level, A-level background, you can apply without IELTS. For postgraduate, you can apply without IELTS, but they'll get a conditional offer. And then once you have the IELTS score, you can. But unless you have O-levels, then maybe that will account for the IELTS program. Perhaps I'll ask the questions, Alison, and then you and Jessica can answer. The second question is, how much will a master's program cost in this university? And third, can an O-level student apply to this university for any program?
Yeah. Do you want me to do that one, Jess, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a delay a bit. Sorry, so I don't want to take over, but I think. Oh yeah, I've got a yes. Sorry. So now let me just see if I remember all the questions. So can you apply without an IELTS? What you've said, yes, is absolutely correct. As long as you get your IELTS at the required level, which is usually a 6.5, but it will be stipulated in the offer letter, then you can apply without having even done your IELTS yet. One of the conditions of the offer will be to meet the English requirement, which would be the IELTS Pearson's TOEFL test, for example. But yes, you can apply without having had it to in essence reserve your seat on the course, and then you have until August time, given how long visas might take, to be able to get your IELTS and obviously complete all the conditions of your offer, and then obviously go ahead and apply for your visa. So that hope that answered the question about study. Can you apply without an IELTS? The answer is yes. The cost
if they
of
have
a master's
O-level
course,
English score, would they be able to apply to postgraduate programs? And will you look at their O-level English instead of their IELTS to meet the English language?
Yeah, so we do waiver IELTS. I need to double check some of the requirements, some of the specifics around the English. Actually, Jess might be able to to come in and help on that one. But yeah, we do waiver the Ielts if obviously we are satisfied with other qualifications the student might have. So for example, we would waiver if, for example, a GCSE equivalent of a B or above for an undergraduate student. If for postgraduate, we'd have to take each one into consideration, because if the degree's been taught in English, and there's sufficient evidence of ongoing English and previous English qualifications such as A-level, etc., is obviously an A or B grade, then we would potentially consider it. It is all, obviously we are bound by UKVI regulations as a university, so we have set rules in place in order to comply with the English level that we think that students would need to be able to cope with the level of
I just want to wrap it up a little bit, Alison, because I'm conscious of the time. You know, there are quite a few other questions, but I'm gonna do one last one, and I think it's a very relevant one. This is from Alpha Sarah, and you know, you have mentioned that you require a 3.2 with a 4-year degree from Bangladesh to get into the master's program. Now, this student, she has a 3. I'm guessing it's a C, could be a he as well. He has a 3.02. However, it's from North-South University. North-South University is highly regarded as one of the top universities in Bangladesh, and it requires an 86% to get a GPA of about 3. So you know, so that's a high percentage. You know what I mean? Would he be eligible to apply?
Yeah, I mean, we do consider that was sort of a generalization, a 3.2. The majority of that was in general is what we would be looking for, but we do take things into consideration. So, for example, if we've had previous students from that institution perform very well at Sheffield, we'd have a look at what potentially they applied with and assess and make recommendations. The 3.2 is a printed on our website as a generalization, but within reason, with sufficient evidence, then we would potentially consider, for example, we do accept students from the University of Dhaka, we know that potentially they're a bit more strict in some of their marking. It's not sort of a level playing field across the country, as we understand. So we do take those into consideration. There's also no charge in applying as well. So obviously it's only a matter of time that the student is losing to make an application. There's no loss in sort of applying regarding any fees. So if there's deadlines,
please do apply. You know, we will be happy to help you at Maces make that application. You can send us a copy of your CV at mail@macesbd.com. We will give you all the information, all the documents that are required. Usually it's CV, passport copy, academic document, IELTS if you have any, or O-levels, you know, a personal statement, and 2 references. And then we can place the application for you. We don't have any fees for our services. So, you know, please get in touch and we will help you with that. So I look forward to, hearing from you, Alphas. Now, you know, it's already been 55 minutes, so we want to wrap up very quickly. Alison, Jessica, you want to say something, you know, some last minute messages to the audience, or, you know, something you want to share?
Well, thank you very much for joining us today and for asking us loads of questions. Please do get in touch with us after this or through Maces. They can, if you have any questions, they can pass them on to us. I think the message is, if in doubt, ask, and if you want to apply, do. And we will assist you as much as we can along the way, giving you guidance on your eligibility and the course content and everything like that.
That's great. And Alison?
Yeah, just a thank you very much for having us today. It's been a really useful session, hopefully, for you all to ask your questions and clarity. And it's been great to be able to see you as well. So thank you. In Canada, I didn't realise as well, so that's good. So yeah, no, thank you for having us here, and happy to help in other areas. So feel free to get in touch with us again. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Alison and Jessica. This has been great. We have had quite a few questions, and we've been able to answer most of them, I think, to the satisfaction. Those who are listening, if you are interested in applying to Sheffield, please get in touch with Maces. We have an office in Gulshan, which is in Navana Tower 9th floor, and an office in Dhanmondi, which is on Road 27, house number 39 by B. So prominent locations. We don't have any service charges, so you can come in, provide your documents, and we can make the application for you. We can also, because we've been working with Sheffields for so long, we have had a lot of students who were really successful, who've done very well for themselves, and who can help you provide, mentorship guidance as well. And we can put you in touch with them. So once again, thank you to everybody who came in. Thank you to Alison. Thank you to Jessica and to the University of Sheffield. We're so happy to be your partners in Bangladesh.
Thank you.